just had the worst predictions week so far. Only got 5 right. Last week, only 5 of them. So hopefully I can do a little bit better than that. I can't imagine doing worse, but let's take a look and see. Here are all the games. We have the Panthers and the Cardinals on a bye. Just as we do every week, we'll start with the AFC, then move to the NFC, and finally do our interconference games. Starting off with the big game on Thursday, Buffalo Bills going into New England, taking on Mac Jones and the Patriots. Buffalo Bills just won a very close game against the Detroit Lions. The Patriots they won last week, yeah. They did not. They lost a fairly close game to the Vikings. Both of those teams played competitive games last week. The Bills are away, but at this point in the season, I'm just going to pick the record pretty much. Give me the Bills over the Patriots. Next up, Browns against the Texans. This is going to be a big game. This is going to be a big controversial game. Deshaun Watson is back after serving his suspension. And the team he is coming back against is his old team, the Houston Texans. The Browns are the better team overall, but Deshaun Watson hasn't played football in 500 days or something like that, I think. I read. It's been over 500 days. The Browns looked decent under Jacoby Brissett, but he's not playing now, presumably. The Texans don't look good. They're the worst team in the league by record, but maybe they'll be fired up to play against their old QB. Deshaun might be rusty. This is going to be a huge upset pick, but I'm going to pick the Texans to beat the Browns. And I think this is going to be the first and only time that I pick the Texans to win this entire season. Broncos versus Ravens. Both teams lost last week. The Ravens, fairly shockingly. But, as I said in my video last week, or my review video rather, I am not allowing myself to choose the Broncos to win a game the rest of this season. They have let me down one too many times. Give me the Ravens beating the Broncos. Alright. The Chargers going in against the Raiders, who beat my Seattle Seahawks last week. Both teams coming off a win. I don't know. Neither team. Josh Jacobs been playing great. Herbert's been playing great. Give me the Chargers over the Raiders. And finally, Chiefs Bengals. Jamar Chase is coming back this week. That's going to be big for the Bengals. Kansas City has only lost 2 games all season. They've been absolutely rolling, but the Bengals have been hot recently. Maybe Jamar Chase coming back. This will be my upset pick. Maybe give me the Cincinnati Bengals in an upset over the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving to the NFC, we have the Green Bay Packers. Presumably, Aaron Rodgers won't be playing. I don't think Justin Fields will be playing either, so it's going to be backup versus backup here. Let me see, maybe if there's an update on Justin Fields, because if Justin Fields will be healthy, I'll pick the Bears. Week. Justin Fields, week 13. Fields murky update for Week 13 versus Packers. This was published 2 hours ago. The Bears were without Justin Fields in Week 12 on Monday. Bears head coach Matt Eberflus spoke on the current status of his second-year quarterback. Fields' status for Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers still appears to be in the air. If he's ready to go at 100%, like I said last week, and protect himself and play the way that he does, perform the way he does, and the Dodgers clear him, Ryan and I say he looks good and he feels good, then it's a green light. Jordan Love looked good, though. Jordan Love did look good, though, at the end of that game, but can't do it for all 4 quarters. I wish I knew if Justin Fields is playing or not. I'm going to assume Justin Fields is playing, and if he is playing, I'm going to pick the Bears to win. But every time I pick the Bears, they let me down. Commanders versus Giants. Commanders have been rolling recently. Look at the NFC East right here, all for the playoffs. Commanders have been rolling. I've been a big fan of them this season. And they've been hot. The New York Giants have cooled off a little bit recently. They just got a loss last week to the Cowboys. Got blown out a bit. They lose the week before that as well. Giants, yeah, they lost to the Lions. What about the week before that? They beat the Texans. So it's an interesting spot for the Bears at the moment, or excuse me, the Giants. They've lost 2 in a row. The Commanders have won, I think, 2 or 3 in a row now. Commanders, they have Chase Young back. Giants are still dealing with some injury issues, I think. Let me check real quick and see. Look up the Giants injuries, if they've got anything going on. 3 players returning from IR. That's good. Olajari, Bredenson, and Tony Jefferson are returning from the IR. I mean, Bredeson's huge. He's a really good lineman. I don't know. I want to say New York. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where I'm going to get this pick wrong no matter what. I've been rolling with the Commanders for a while. Let me go with the Giants here. Seahawks going in to play the Rams. I could be a homer and pick the Seahawks. They do have the better record. But honestly, the Seahawks, even when the Seahawks were really good and the Rams were really bad, the Rams have always had Seattle's number. It's like the one team that is Seattle's kryptonite is the Rams. The Rams could be the worst team in the league. The Seahawks could be undefeated, and the Rams would be the Seahawks. Like, it's just how it is. So, just based on my history as a Seahawks fan, I have to pick the Rams over the Seahawks. Saints in Tampa Bay. Give me the Buccaneers. They just lost last week. The Saints lost last week too. I think the Bucs are still a better team. Now for our interconference game, we have the Jets who just got a big win. Mike White most likely in a QB again. Going in against the Vikings. Vikings, top 3 team in the league. It's them, the Bills, and the Chiefs in my opinion, and the Eagles, the top 4. I think the Jets are good, but give me the Vikings. Lions versus Jaguars. Jaguars just got a really big win last week. Big upset win. Beat the Ravens. The Lions nearly beat the Bills. They came so close. I think that the Lions' loss was better than the Jaguars' win, if that makes sense. I think the Lions can beat this Jaguars team. Give me the Lions. Steelers versus Falcons. Steelers won last week, shockingly. They have been weirdly putting it together these last few weeks. The Falcons with another L. The Falcons continue to be a frustrating team playing below their station. Maybe give me the Steelers. That might be recency bias, but give me the Steelers. Titans at Eagles. I picked against the Eagles last week against the Packers. I thought that maybe after their first loss that things might be a little sloppy, and then I also thought Aaron Rodgers would turn it on against them and not gonna let himself fall to the record that Green Bay has fallen. I never imagined Aaron Rodgers would allow himself to become 4-9. But the Titans are decent, but their offense last week was just really not great. Give me the Eagles there. Dolphins at Niners. This is a big game. The Niners have really turned it on ever since Jimmy G got the starting job back over Lance. Bringing in McCaffrey has improved their offensive rating considerably. And the Niners have become a sneaky contender. I don't think they're on the level of the teams like the Bills. In my opinion, there's the tiers. I think your top tier teams are the Bills, the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Chiefs. One of those four teams is going to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. And then your tier below that, you have the Dolphins, the Niners, maybe the Cowboys, maybe the Ravens, right? And then below that, you have the Titans, the Bucks. So these are San Francisco has kind of put themselves into that second tier where at the beginning of the season, with Trey Lance, they were not looking good. If you watch my review videos from the first 2 weeks of this season, I was criticizing Trey Lance heavily for his poor play. This is going to be a real close game. This might be an upset pick, and this might be a homer opinion since I'm a Seahawks fan, and Dolphins are my favorite East Coast team. Give me the Dolphins. Tua is just a different animal right now. And finally, the Colts playing the Cowboys. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. So my picks for the AFC, I have the Bills beating the Patriots. I have the Texans upsetting the Browns in Deshaun Watson's debut. I have the Ravens beating the Broncos. I have the Chargers defeating the Raiders and the Bengals upsetting the Chiefs. In the NFC, I have the depleted Bears beating the depleted Packers. I have the New York Giants slowing down the streaking Commanders. I have the LA Rams putting the Seahawks out of their misery. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeating New Orleans on Monday night. Then for our interconference games, I have the Vikings beating the Jets, maybe giving them an excuse to bring Zach Wilson back in if Mike White loses. The Lions beating the Jaguars. The Steelers shocking the nation and defeating the Falcons. The Eagles beating the Titans. The Dolphins upsetting the Niners. Maybe. I'd have to look at the lines for that game. And the Cowboys beating the Colts. Actually, let me look and see where the line is right now. Dolphins, Niners, lines. Okay, 13 hours ago. Okay, the Niners are a 3.5 point favorite. Minus 185 on the money line. 3.5 point favorite, so it is an upset, but not a huge upset if the Dolphins win that one. And that is my predictions for week 13. NFL season. So let me know what you guys think about these predictions in the comments down below. I go through it once a week and try to respond to as many comments as I can. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the